Nathaniel from the Api.
And behind the camera, Terri from Be Natural.
And we're now in my apiary where the bees are in full harvest mode. So today is what? The 6th, 7th, 8th?
Ninth.
Of August. And for us, this simply means that our savonette flow is on now. There are differences in the honeys. I separate them in two. So whatever I get from the savonette, that's the light honey. I call it the summer honey. And the darker honey from spring, from stuff like kenip and campeche and so on, I call it the spring honey. So today we are going to be doing some manipulations and looking at manipulations that I've done before. Right now, most of my hives are set up for honey. So like for this one, for example, I put the queen down below in the brood chamber with no brood and just foundation so that she could draw. So I'm also doing that as well. And I'm allowing the bees at the top to hatch and for them to fill it with honey so I can take off the second box. That's for my nooks that were way too strong to transfer to, and I didn't have equipment to transfer them into. So today we're just going to look at the manipulations that I've made and see how they're getting along and do some additional management and manipulations based on the results that I find today. Good?
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
There's the hum of bees in the air.
So if you can see, like, as you can see, we have the hive, all those are hives in honey harvest. That's one of my few apiaries. I have 4 of them for now. Yeah. So this is one of the hives that I manipulated. Now something that is worth noting is that whenever you put brood above a queen excluder and the queen cannot get to the brood, a lot of times the bees draw queen cells on those young larvae. So it's good to go in there and break it down, take out the queen cells before they make a queen upstairs, right? So what could happen is they could make the queen cells. When the virgin hatch, the old queen can leave, and then the new queen cannot pass through the queen excluder and mate, and then you can lose your hive over time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a look to see if they have any queen cells, and if they don't, then I'm going to go down to the bottom box to find out if my technique is working. The fact that the queen is down below the excluder with no drawn comb, that is to force the bees to draw more comb. So you see, we have the honey coming in. A nice strong note. So what's going to happen with these frames, the fact that the queen cannot come upstairs and lay, as the brood is hatching out, then they're going to store honey up in there for me, and I can just harvest that at the end of the season. So as you can already see, oh well, no, well, there's nothing in there. So all the cups like that, you just look at them to see if there's any eggs in them, and there are none. So this frame, it's okay. Most of the brood is capped, and as soon as they start hatching out, the bees will backfill that with honey.
Nice.
Okay, so we can just take that. Now I don't have to look or be careful with that per se, because I know the queen is not on there. If the queen was there, I would have to make sure she's not on it before I lay it down like that.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Yep.
Wow.
So far so good. We haven't seen any queen cells. So I see a few cups. Now the cups is potential queen cells, but they have nothing in them. When the bees put a larvae or an egg in them, then you call them a queen cell. But as long as it has nothing in it, you could call it a cup.
So why would they build an empty?
Yeah, they always do that, especially when the population is strong. They build it. Some say it's for like preparation, some say it's practice, but they alone really know why. So these are all empty. So I'm feeling quite good. So hopefully the idea, like I said, the idea is that we keep it this way until the flow is done. So by the time the flow finish, everything there will be hatched out and they will full it with honey. As you can see, they already started. So that is honey. That is capped honey and that is capped brood. So the honey, if you look at it, see a nice light honey. That's the savonette right there. It tastes good too.
They like that. They're straight in it. And that's where I'm getting my beeswax, right?
Yeah, that's
when you take off the
yeah,
cap.
that's correct. So usually beekeepers wait till the last harvest for the year, which is this one, before they take out most of their beeswax. So so for me, as like somebody that sells wax, after I harvest that honey, then I'll take out maximum wax. Like so, when I'm cutting with the knife to uncap the honey, I'll cut it flush with the frame, so I can get maximum wax to melt and to sell for our persons like Be Natural. Or
just selling only to Be Natural. I'm putting my claim on it right now.
that use wax, you know, on island. So now we're going to go down to our brood chamber so we could have a look, see what the bees are doing down there.
And why didn't you put the lid on that?
Because I used it, I rather the lid.
Oh, okay, as the base.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Right. So explain the excluder.
Yeah. So the queen excluder is a tool that you use for your hive management. Whenever you don't want the queen, when you want to isolate the queen from a certain area, right? So now, the fact that I don't want the queen to lay any more eggs up in the second box, I put the queen excluder so I can keep her downstairs. And as I said, I'm trying, because we're on such a heavy flow, I'm trying to draw out, I'm working on drawing out comb, because they can't have her there and not give her space to lay. So they must draw out for her to lay on. But you only do that with nice strong hives, right? So let's see what they're doing down there. And I made that manipulation maybe like 3 days ago.
Oh, wow.
And so you see?
Yes.
So they're going to draw out comb so that she can lay.
That comb is so pretty. Look how amazing it is.
So we kind of like forcing them to draw out comb, like that. So that looks like that technique is working fine. So I'm going to actually do that to a few more of the nooks. See how they're drawing it out nicely? Yep.
And before, like a few days ago, there was no comb?
I put that blank. Like 3 days ago, I just put that empty.
Wow.
No drawn comb on there or anything.
Okay. So they're really working.
Yep. But also by them drawing all that comb, it means that you're going to get like a reduction in your crop of honey, because it takes them 8 pounds of honey, I think the literature says, to draw out 1 ounce of wax or something like that. So the excluder back on. So I think in my book I'll consider that a success.
So this was already a strong nook.
Yes, a strong nook. 4-frame nook. So I just put a super on there. Well, I put it as the super, and I put a blank box on there. And I took the queen out and I put her downstairs. Just the queen. You can find the queen, or if you cannot find the queen, you can always just shake the bees. Shake all the bees down to make sure that she's not on any of the frames on top, and then put the queen excluder, and then put the box with the resources up there.
Okay, awesome.
So the fact that they haven't, it's been 3 days and they haven't drawn any queen cells, that's a good sign. So I can always come back in 2 more days, because usually 5 days is the time that it takes for there to be any viable egg or larvae to make a queen cell. So the fact that I've done it 3 days ago, I can always just pass back in 1 more day time and give it 2 more days time, make a sneak peek. If they haven't drawn anything yet, then I know they're not going to do it at all.
Nice.
Right? Let's go in one of our honey producing hives.
All right.
And so we're going to do some of the really heavy lifting, so people can have an idea of what it takes and what it actually is about to do the real heavy beekeeping. Okay? So as you can maybe tell, this is the biggest hive and strongest hive in my apiary. Now, I have different management styles of hives on each of these things. So as you keep going in beekeeping, you learn that there are management styles that you can use for to manage the bees for the honey food. This hive has actually has two queens in there. There is one queen up there and there is one queen down there, and they're working together to fill those 2 boxes.
Wow.
So what I did was that when the flow started, the queen up in that box, I put her in a cage so that she can stop lay, because the bees that she lays during the flow is not going to be beneficial for that flow. They're going to hatch out and be ready after the flow. So I don't need her laying any more brood to take up more resources, because I have a queen down there laying already. So what happens is when her brood hatches out, then the bees will start to backfill the comb up there with honey. So when I'm harvesting honey, I can harvest all 3 boxes. And I can always take her and put her in a little nook and make a split with her. So we're going to go in there, and we're going to have an idea of how the honey is coming in, and what exactly are they doing, right?
So what was the purpose of leaving her still in the hive rather than taking her out completely?
Basically it's because I didn't have a place to put her yet.
Okay.
So I just left her with her bees so they can take care of her.
Okay. But she's in like a cage or a clip?
She's in a queen clip.
Okay. Alright. Ooh.
So that is the kind of population you want when you're harvesting honey. So if the top box have that many bees, that should tell you how many bees really is in the colony altogether, right? Come on this side. Yeah, and then you can just film the entrance, let them see how.
A lot of bees coming and going.
So you really want like a high population of bees, not just a high population of bees, but at the right time to harvest the honey. So that's why Like I start building my colonies 6 to 8 weeks before the flow. I start building the population up for the flow. So the queen is in this clip. So that's our queen with a white mark on her right there. She's actually a last year queen.
Okay.
So the queen is on there. So we can just rest her there for a while.
And will you be keeping her? Will you be moving her?
Yeah, I will be so after the flow is done, I'm going to split that hive in two, because you're going to have a situation where you have a high population of bees and no work to do. So I can always give them, it's like similar how I gave that hive foundation to draw. I can do that at the end of the flow with this hive as well.
Okay.
And they will actually even be faster than that. But I would have to feed them with sugar syrup so they can get the work done. So you see right there? So all the bees have hatched out. All the brood have hatched out, and you see the bucket filling it with honey. So that's all honey that's going in there. Taste it?
Of course.
Fresh from the hive. Okay. Yeah, that we're going to shake off the bees. We're going to put the cover back on temporarily. See these nectar falling from it? So you can just take the hive tool and take a little piece, and you're going to have to pass it under your...
Yeah, okay. So like from here?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh wow. That is so sweet.
No, that's the savonette only.
Clear. Yeah. Thank you, bees.
Much lighter honey than the darker spring honey that we've been receiving. Is my favorite for in terms of like cooking and for taste. For medicine and so on, I rather the spring. But for tasting and cooking and flavoring stuff, that's my favorite.
Now, what amount of honey do you get from a box like that?
From a box like that, I get almost 5 gallons. So if that box is filled to the maximum capacity, I get almost 5 gallons of honey in there. So, but something I do as well is I don't have 10 frames in one box. So if you come across and we start counting the frames, you'll see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So as the bees are drawing out the comb, but they have to draw it out first, I take out 2 and I open the box up, so you have more honey and comb and stuff like that than you have wood in the box. So you know you get more honey.
So less frames but more honey.
Less frames, more honey, because they build out the comb to meet each other. Right? So we're going to... It can be kind of intimidating when you're dealing with a box of so many bees. It's all part of the job. So I'm just going to rest her back in there.
On an average day, how many stings you get?
Maybe none.
Okay.
If they're really like, if I'm doing it during the rain or something like that, then yeah, I'll get maybe like 2 or 3.
Okay.
But you don't really get stings around that time of year. because the bees they are on a flow.
They're just too busy to worry.
Yeah. Okay,
That's nice.
so we're going to, if we clear there, we're going to put these boxes down. So we're going to see how much honey that we have actually accumulated in that hive. Put. So that's one.
Oh wow. Sorry.
They were under the handle. Right. So that queen excluder, I cannot no longer need it there because I put that queen in a cage. Although the other queen can come and fight with her, you know, up there.
Oh wow.
But I'll still keep it. Okay. So this box, if you come across, this box is almost filled with honey. Almost full. Yeah, and I put that about a week and a half ago. Wow. But it was drawn comb. The comb was already drawn out. So all they're doing is filling it with honey. So I think from now on, my technique, my hive maintenance method is going to be 2 queens for most of my honey producing hive. Because you can, during the swarming season, you can keep the hive separate, but you have double the bee power. And as soon as that swarming instinct passes, you combine your bees and you have so much more to go, so much more bees to forage. Oh, heavy.
Nice.
You see that?
Wow. That is a beauty.
Yep.
Ooh, look at that. Busy bees.
Yep. So this one and the one below is even more filled than this one.
And when those are filled, how heavy is the box?
I think they estimated it to be 80 to 100 pounds.
Wow.
Between 80 and 100.
Okay, so you have to have muscles.
Yeah. Because every frame, when it's full, it was like well, it has more now, but when it has 10 frames in the box, every full frame is like, it looks up to be like 8 pounds per frame. So you see this one, same thing. We have honey all through. So down have some brood on there because my queen is free to, the queen below
She can go up.
is free to roam the boxes. I didn't want her feeling restricted during the swarming season.
Okay.
But then there were so many bees in the box, I couldn't find her. So I just let her go.
So what do you do in that case when there's brood in the honey?
You can allow, like put a queen excluder after a while and allow the bees to hatch, and then you can harvest the honey. Or sometimes I just take out all frames that have no brood and leave whatever that has brood on there, leave it for the bees. That time you don't have to feed or anything.
Right, right. Okay.
But you see like there, the nectar is coming in so fast that the queen doesn't have time to lay before they start filling it with nectar. So eventually, they themselves are going to fix the problem.
Okay.
Right, so basically all the frames downstairs is like that. So by the end of the flow, I'll be able to pull 3 boxes from that. That's like almost 15 gallons of honey just from that single hive.
Awesome. That's what we want.
Yep. So next year, I'm definitely going to do more of that hive management method and get a maximum yield from those bees. So this really has quite social experiment. You put it back. So make sure you hold firm and
this is the back?
either way it doesn't matter, just don't drop.
Don't
Try
drop
your best not to drop and take your time. Even though you get stung, you're not letting go.
Oh my gosh. Sorry.
wait. Go. Up. Put it down and slide it over. Keep going.
Yeah, that's some heavy lifting there, right? That's some heavy lifting.
You're good. I'll take over from there.
I thought I was strong. The hive beat me. Nice.
So one of the things that I've learned with the beekeeping is you just don't let the bees intimidate you. Yeah, there are a lot of bees flying around. It's simply because you're messing around with their flight path and where they know to enter and so on. But if you notice they're not aggressive, they're not knocking you. As you can see how you dress, and you just always have to keep them calm before it escalates. So that's why I always, before I deliver a box, I give them a light puff. My smoker always stays in my legs, so I have it on demand, right? But just don't let them intimidate you, because they can smell the fear, they can sense the fear, and like you're just going to snowball. As you keep getting more afraid, they're going to keep getting more angry. So you just don't want it to start in the first place.
No, I must say it doesn't feel like, people keep saying, oh, you're so brave to be in the bees. I'm like, really? That doesn't seem to be bravery. You know, it's like they're all around, but they're just doing their thing.
Well, some bees.
So your bees may be nicer than others. But actually, yeah, talking about that, there was the incident in St. Lucia. You want to remark on that?
Yeah. So there was apparently there was a situation in St. Lucia where some bees attacked a lady. I think they said that she couldn't see well, or she was blind or something, and she knocked over a beehive. But they also said that part of the reason that this happened was because the bees in St. Lucia are now Africanized bees. Now, one of the reasons why you can get Africanized bees is by people importing queens and so on from foreign places. And in my opinion, and as most experts would agree, that importing bees is a very bad idea. Importing queens, there are so many diseases and viruses that can affect your bees. And our bees have evolved so well with our conditions and to fight mites, to fight diseases, that we have the perfect bee for Dominica already. So I would just like to encourage anybody that thinking of getting bees to be very careful of the idea of somebody telling you, well, I have a super bee that will make you 10 boxes of honey. And be very careful with that, because there are all kind of diseases and viruses on the outside. And not just that, but the Africanized bees we are surrounded by them. They're in Guadeloupe already. Look, now they're in St. Lucia. And if you have to have bees, Africanized bees, you have to be something like 500 feet away from a road. So if you really look at it, anytime we have Africanized bees, we can't have beekeepers anymore, because where in Dominica you're going to get to have bees and have it 500 feet away from a road or from people's house. Just take a spin and
Yes.
look and see how close that I am to, you know,
the
people,
playing
and the
field.
bees are of no problem because our bees are nice and calm. So I would just like to encourage people to be very careful with that thing. If you want bees, there are quite a lot of people that are now that are doing beekeeping and raising bees. So always reach out. If you cannot get bees, I sell bees. I sell it reasonably cheap, as to most other beekeepers. So you know, and my bees, they are very calm, and we need to promote that good genetics throughout the island, so that more people can be comfortable with beekeeping and it can be something enjoyable. Right? So Africanized bees is definitely not going to be an enjoyable situation.